All right, let's talk about this new JackBoys project by Travis Scott, returning to Jack Off the Cactus Jack label, uh, uh, writing off of the success of his 2023 album Utopia, which was kind of seen as his big grand return to the trap scene, to psychedelic trap. The studio album was. And I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good album when it first came out. I haven't listened to a ton since, but there were like catchy, great psych trap songs on there. I mean, My Eyes, one of Travis Scott's best songs. Great features, experimental for Travis. Not as good as, not quite as good as Asteroid. Definitely not as good as Rodeo, but still a very solid Travis Scott project. Um, and I even think that the first Jack Boys project is it's not great, but it gets the job done. It has had enough on it. It's got what to do on it. It's got some nice hooks from Don Toliver, some nice vocals from him as well. It's got some pretty good production here and there. Even if some of the features on there, like Rosalia on that first track, or the Pop Smoke feature, are a little bit wonky, especially that Rose Leaf feature. That Rose Leaf feature is it's really something. But I really kind of think that what's affecting this project a lot, what makes this project interesting, is that right now, I think the reason why he dropped this album at this moment, 5 years, no, 6 years after the first Jack Boys project, is that he's kind of embroiled in a sort of a squabble, a beef with Pusha T and Clips, I guess, over Pusha kind of throwing some shots at Travis and other rappers, and so be it. That diss track that's on the new Clips record. And a lot of people are theorizing that he kind of dropped this a little bit too early, in an unfinished state, because of the fact that he wanted to get this out to compete with Clips. And honestly, after listening to this, I'm inclined to believe it, because this album is pretty fucking bad. It's definitely, of the Travis Scott projects I've heard, I think it's probably the worst one. I mean, I don't know if I've heard every single mixtape and piece of music he put out in the early 2010s, before Rodeo popped off. I've heard most of it, but none of them were as bad as this project. This project, I will say, it kind of started off a little. And by the way, this is going to be kind of, I've just listened to this twice. Listened to it last night. I listened to it again just now. I'm kind of just recording this free flow, just gonna be talking about it, just uh, uh, by hand, offhand. I'll listen to it just now for the second time. And I do think that, honestly, for the first few tracks up to like Kick Out, I think it's decent. I think it's okay. I think that the second track, and 2000 Excursion have some fun production on it, some good psych trap production. And I like the kind of wild and zany ad libs and vocal bits from Waka Flocka Flame on Champagne New Vacay. And Don Toliver does well on the hooks in both Champagne and 2000 Excursion. Even Kick Out has a slightly interesting bassy intro, especially with those catchy guitars. And that might be a 2000 Excursion. I think 2000 Excursion has those catchy kind of guitar riffs that sample into the instrumental and sound kind of cool. I do think that this is more of an attempt to make the Jack Boys label, or Jack Boys project, that encompasses Sheck Wes and obviously Travis Scott and Don Toliver and other rappers, Sofago, to make it seem more grand and like a bigger rap collective type album. Because the first Jack Boys project is kind of short. It was only 21 minutes. This is almost an hour long. I'm not going to talk about every track, because it's just completely unnecessary. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, I thought that the first leg of this album, I was thinking maybe this is a little bit overhated. I think it's fine so far. But quickly, once we get to tracks like Dumbo and NM3 and Velour, we start to see the cracks forming because the production and just the mixing specifically, upon second listen, just sounds so unfinished. Parts of the beats are kind of just clickering, or sometimes the bass is too high, sometimes the vocals are mixed kind of badly. Um, Specifically on tracks like No Comments, and I think Dumbo as well. I just think, and also there's just not really a lot of big catchy hooks uh, on this record, and sometimes the hooks are rather awful. Take the track ILMB, or which stands for I Love My Bitch, which goddamn, what a boring, uncreative, stupid, shitty, mind-numbingly bad hook for a trap song. I mean, I know trap isn't exactly like doesn't exactly have the lyrical focus that something like a conscious hip hop or East Coast or West Coast hip hop has, but you gotta do better than this. Like, really, it's so dumb. I feel dumber. I feel like I'm getting dumber listening to it. It's just so it's so bad. Usually with some Travis Scott songs, they have kind of simple hooks here and there. Usually they're catchy in a good way. The production's very nice and flows nicely with the hook as well. And Travis raps on pretty well. But here it's just not the case. I really think that Travis kind of bogged this record down with a lot of features as well that I don't really think add to the record in a very substantial way. I think the 21 Savage feature on Kick Out is okay, but it's kind of just an average 21 Savage feature. I think a lot of hidden features, I mean, the Walk Like a Flame feature is okay, but that's the start of the record. The rest of it doesn't really have much of note, to be honest. I mean, it's mostly just Sheck Wes having some mid verses, Travis having a mid verse, Don Toliver being weaker on the hook game than usual, and his singing as well is not very good. SoFaygo has always been kind of a mediocre rapper to me. And around past ILMB, it actually gets even worse with Where Was You, which has Playboi Carti as well as Future on it. And I mean, look, if I look at a rap song and I notice that it's going to have a Playboi Carti and a Future feature on it, those two features, I'm not exactly jumping out of my seat to listen to it, because I find both those rappers very boring. And Future's doing some weird, he's kind of doing some weird, trying to be kind of funny, trying to be kind of cheeky delivery with his flow on this, kind of like he's trying to follow in the footsteps of Playboi Carti a little bit. And of course, Playboi Carti has this hubba delivery that I just think is so distasteful and so unappealing. I cannot get behind the way he raps on these tracks, or any tracks for that matter. I just think that, and another thing that's kind of dawned on me just now is that there's not a lot of those catchy Travis Scott ad-libs that are usually peppered throughout his tracks. Like there was also ones on Utopia that were kind of experimental, kind of, I guess, Playboi Carti-esque, like a little bit of the like sort of kind of weird and yelpy sort of noises that kind of read as more of an industrial hip hop sort of thing to me as well. But there's not really much of that here. It kind of feels like he's just dumbing down his sound, even to a degree where he's trying to appeal to the crowd, the people that like Don Toliver's music, or SoFaygo, or Sheck Wes. Which, I mean, I don't hate those artists in general, but they don't have the curation and production ability that Travis Scott has. They don't have the ability to make these epic, grand, psych trap opuses that Astroworld and Rodeo and even Utopia are to me. And I just don't see why he decided to release this project in the state that it is, because it doesn't really feel it's the presentation of it is supposed to be grand and epic with all these hidden features, supposed to be exciting, but the features aren't that great. The beats aren't really all that memorable, except for some that we'll talk about in a second that are on the back half that we get to. Uh, it's just not that interesting, which makes me think that the theory people have about this being unfinished to compete with Clips is founded in true. And just, man, the worse the tracks just keep getting worse. We keep like the beep beeps on, horrible track, just shitty instrumental with this like teeny like flashy guitars and just it sounds so like unpolished, man. It's kind of experimental, I guess, and kind of woozy and kind of weird, but it does not go over well. It does not go over well, like, at all. It's just all it is just Travis Scott talking about, like, you know, getting a call from a big booty bitch, the phone's beeping, beep beep, like. It's so bad. It's so anemic. It's so boring. The hook's not good. The verses aren't good. Even the feature. I think his name is Bobby. I will say his feature, his verse does have some kind of funny bars, like the phone on vibrate, make her legs vibrate, fly them hoes out, make them hoes migrate. She shake that ass, the bag go and gyrate. It's a little bit stupid, but it's kind of funny the way he delivers it, so I give it the credit that's due right there. But man, I just don't think that the tracks are really coming together at all. And then PBT, Lord, this song was also just really, really, really bad. It also has, I believe, this is the track with the Tyla feature on it. And, Tyla, I think, has a pretty solid voice. I think she has an R&B presence on the track that's nice. It's a nice kind of oasis in the freaking track listing here. But, like, once the beats, I believe this is also the reggaeton-esque beat one, I think. I think it is. Which I get why he want to do this, because it's kind of an R&B-ish cut. I feel like Tyler's kind of this is kind of like the what was that Bad Boy track? Like the K-pop track for this record. But once we get to the feature from some random rapper, I don't know who it is. He's kind of like a it's kind of like a what's the, sorry, I gotta find out who was on that Black with a Berry track. I'll cut this out, I think. But yeah, Assassin. There is, yeah, this a dance hall artist, I believe, is on this track, and he gets really wild and really zany with his vocal inflections towards the end, and the these blaring horns that just pop in, and it sounds so. It's so annoying, and it's so bad, it's so goofy, it's so weird. It's such a 180 for the track. And throughout, man, Travis pulls a card from the Drake playbook and does a little bit of fake patois, and it just becomes this unholy hodgepodge of just rushed and bad ideas all at the same time. It is truly horrific, that track. And it does not get better. Sheen, horrible. Garbage track. Garbage flows from Travis, garbage lyrics, garbage garbage beat. That track would be one of the worst tracks of the year. If not for actually a pretty solid Sexy Red feature, or it's not Sexy Red, pretty solid Glorilla feature in the back end, but she can't save the track. She can't save the fucking track. Also, the sobity wibbity wobbity wibbity wobbity, that shit on the back end of the track. What the fuck was that? Then we get to the track Outside with NBA Youngboy, who why in fuck's name you want an NBA Youngboy feature in the year 2025 on your track? I don't know. I don't know why Travis Scott decided to do a track with it like this. I mean, maybe like look like I'll post it on the screen. Like look at this. Look at these fucking lyrics. Look at this hook. This is like they wrote this in 2 seconds. They didn't take any time to write this. This is not catchy. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's horrible. It's so bad. And the NBA Youngboy feature, I guess it's not the worst thing ever, but it's not good. It's not good. It's bad. It doesn't sound good at all. Oh my god. And then other future feature and that guy on the GNX album and on Can't Stop, which is just another whatever track. And then we end with a 5.5 minute torture chamber, like just walking across just the hottest, most uncomfortable, burn my feet coal, with another intro from Bun B as well on the track. I think Bun B's like has an intro verse on a lot of intro hook on a lot of these tracks, which is really weird because I just can't like why I don't. I guess it fits into the radio theme of the JACKBOYS radio sort of thing, but good God. I mean, there are some interesting mentions in the Migos for Migos on this track from Travis, but he's not. At least the first few tracks of this record had some kind of catchy flows, like on 2000 Excursions, and definitely also Champagne and Vacay had some pretty good flows from Travis, which proves he still has his game, but he's just not trying on this. It's just so unimaginative, really. It just is not. And then we also got the track's titled something Florida. Let me check back. Florida Flow. So of course hashtag Kodak Black on it, who's like the king of having one of like the worst voices in rap music. I just don't get how Kodak Black in 2025. I mean, I guess Kendrick had him on the 2022 Mr. Morale record, but that shit was bad too. And then the album's over, and I'm just like sitting here stunned because I didn't expect the album to be this bad. I mean, I expected it to be kind of mid, kind of just whatever, but not this bad. I mean, I hope this doesn't spell trouble for Travis's next project or his projects in the future, because this was just, man, I do have to say that I am glad Travis Scott as an artist. I like to think sometimes, I don't like to think this, but I do think that he kind of saves his best material, his best flows, his best rapping performances for his records. I do think that, because most of the time when you get a Travis Scott feature, you do kind of get what you want, like that kind of psych trap, like woozy effects, background vocals, eerie tones, kind of feature from him usually, but sometimes he kind of drops a mid-ass feature. Usually he does. And even when he produces for other artists, it's kind of just... Back in the day, it was interesting because he was trying to get his shit off the ground, but nowadays it's kind of just a hit or miss sort of thing. But I feel like he's kind of operating in that same headspace that I just said on this project, which is a shame. And I know I said on my Clips review that he's clearly not, I don't think he's focusing on competing with Pusha, but I feel like he's trying to with this record, like commercial-wise. And this is definitely the worst album for it, which, I mean, it was going to be anyway, but Jesus Christ. This compilation, actually, was just more proof that the JACKBOYS collective does not offer that much as a collective. And there's a reason why these rap groups like the ASAP Mob and Dreamville Records and Cruel Summer and all these different compilation projects are just not really it these days. Yeah, this record was pretty bad. I'd give it like a 38. I'm not sure if the tracks average out to that completely, but the more I think about it, the more I want to lower it even more. This album kind of pissed me off. will not lie. This album was not very good. Go listen to clips. I'm not sure how much I can edit this, but yeah. Go listen to clips. Not this. This album was not it. Oh, and now the fridge turns off. Fucking hell. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.